What if I told you that some of Hollywood's most iconic male stars have become nearly unrecognizable after turning to plastic surgery? Over the years, many have gone under the knife in hopes of recapturing their youth and vitality. But the results? Sometimes they've left us with a fresh, rejuvenated look, and other times they've been career-ending disasters. In this video, we'll dive into the most jaw-dropping male transformations, surgeries that promise to turn back the clock, and others that have completely derailed their fame. Stick around until the end, where we'll reveal one of the most controversial cases that's been buzzing across the globe. Leave a comment with the number 1 if you're ready to follow the journey. Michael Jackson wasn't just a global superstar, he was a groundbreaking cultural force whose influence transcended music and performance. With hits like Billie Jean and Thriller, he revolutionized pop music, leaving an indelible mark on the industry. Yet while millions of fans were mesmerized by his electrifying performances, Michael faced an intensely personal struggle behind the scenes, a battle with his own image. Despite his unparalleled success, the man who redefined pop music was deeply at odds with the reflection he saw in the mirror, battling insecurities that he kept hidden from the world. His journey, marked by both monumental triumphs and personal challenges, sheds light on the complexities of fame and self-identity. In the early 1980s, Michael Jackson still carried the boyish charm and radiant eyes that had captured America's heart. But as time went on, that same face would become both a symbol of his success and a constant reminder of his inner struggles. It all began with a rhinoplasty after a rehearsal accident left his nose broken, a procedure initially said to help with his breathing. However, this was only the start of a lengthy and complicated transformation. Over the years, a series of surgeries, nose revisions, cheek implants, chin sculpting, eyelid lifts, and facelifts gradually altered his appearance. With each procedure, his features began to lose their natural balance, and the face that once conveyed so much emotion became increasingly unfamiliar, almost unrecognizable. This physical transformation became a visible reflection of the deep insecurities he grappled with in private. As Michael Jackson's skin color gradually lightened, it sparked widespread controversy and fueled rumors that he was deliberately attempting to distance himself from his black identity. He publicly stated that he had vitiligo, a skin condition that causes loss of pigmentation, explaining the transformation. Despite this, many critics accused him of rejecting his roots and trying to escape his heritage. The truth, however, is more nuanced. Michael was deeply affected by the racism he encountered throughout his career in the entertainment industry, the constant scrutiny from tabloids, and the unrealistic beauty standards he was pressured to conform to. These factors weighed heavily on him, influencing both his physical appearance and his sense of self. His journey highlights the complex intersection of race, fame, and personal identity in a world that often demands conformity. Michael Jackson's extraordinary talent remained undeniable throughout his life, but over the years his face became a reflection of the immense pressure and pain he endured. By the time of his death in 2009, he had cemented his place as a pop music legend, yet his story also served as a cautionary tale. Despite achieving unparalleled success, he struggled to find the inner peace that eluded him. His music continues to inspire generations, but his physical transformation stands as a haunting reminder of the toll the relentless pursuit of perfection can take on the very soul of the person behind the icon. In the 1970s, Igor and Grichka Bogdanov were the golden duo of French television, captivating viewers with their intellect, charm, and charisma. With their deep knowledge of science fiction, cosmology, and the mysteries of the universe, They quickly became cultural icons. Their sharp jawlines, high cheekbones, and magnetic personalities made them not only admired for their intellectual prowess, but also for their striking appearances. But what would ultimately change the trajectory of their lives was not their groundbreaking work in science, but rather their pursuit of physical transformation through plastic surgery. This decision would spark a dramatic shift, leading to public fascination and controversy that overshadowed their earlier accomplishments. By the late 1990s, the Bogdanov brothers' appearances began to shift in ways that left the public shocked and bewildered. What began as subtle alterations quickly escalated into a dramatic transformation that seemed to happen overnight. Their cheeks appeared unnaturally swollen, their lips became notably fuller, and their jawlines took on contours that seemed to defy human anatomy. With each new public appearance, their features became more exaggerated, sparking widespread media attention and speculation. Soon, the public, captivated and confused by their extreme changes, began referring to them as the Alien Twins, a nickname that would stick as their physical transformations continued to push the boundaries of perception. Despite Igor and Grichka often brushing off the growing speculation, insisting that their appearance was tied to future technology or personal evolution, the public's consensus leaned toward a more straightforward explanation: excessive plastic surgery, filler injections, Botox, and other unorthodox procedures. At major events like the Cannes Film Festival, they became viral sensations long before social media even existed. Their distinctive, increasingly bizarre image spread quickly across the media landscape, sparking a flurry of memes, jokes, and the lingering question, what happened to them? Yet what became even more concerning than their transformed faces was their changing attitude. Their once charismatic intellectual personas gave way to a more eccentric and often defensive demeanor, which only fueled public fascination and concern. Igor and Grichka never denied or apologized for their dramatic transformations. Instead, they seemed to embrace their eccentricity as if their altered appearances were a deliberate rebellion against societal norms. They presented their extreme changes as a form of self-expression, a push against conventional beauty standards. In 2021, just days apart, the brothers passed away from complications related to COVID-19. While their contributions to science and television endure, the world remembers them most for their astonishing physical transformations. Their story goes beyond just the excesses of aesthetic surgery. It serves as a cautionary tale about the relentless pursuit of difference at any cost. How in the quest to stand out, one can lose sight of who they truly are, ultimately turning into a distorted version of themselves. Mickey Rourke, the quintessential icon of the 1980s, was a man whose fiery eyes and rugged masculinity captivated millions. With fame, talent, and an undeniable charisma, he quickly became the alpha male of the silver screen, commanding attention in every role. He seemed to have it all, but when Rourke stepped away from acting in the early 90s to pursue a career in professional boxing, everything shifted. The ring, while offering him fleeting victories, ultimately took far more ruthless punches that shattered his bones, left deep scars, and caused irreversible damage. What had once been a striking face became a haunting testament to the cost of his boxing career, altering not only his appearance but his life's trajectory in ways that would be felt for years to come. Initially, surgery was a necessity to repair the extensive damage that boxing had inflicted on Mickey Rourke's face. But what began as a reconstruction effort soon spiraled into a series of misguided cosmetic decisions. Hair transplants, multiple nose jobs, silicone cheek implants, and attempts to erase deep wrinkles followed, each procedure adding to the growing list of alterations. Many of these surgeries were unnecessary, and the results were disastrous. Rather than restoring his youthful features, they left him with a face that resembled a mask, unnatural and distant from the image audiences had once adored. Even though some of the best doctors attempted to correct the damage, the improvements were minimal. Rourke often appeared older than his actual age, and the intense, captivating gaze that had defined him was replaced with a look so altered that it barely resembled the man who had once ruled the silver screen. Remarkably, Mickey Rourke has been candid about his mistakes, openly admitting that he chose the wrong doctor to put his face back together. He reflects on it as part of his personal journey, acknowledging the choices that led to his current appearance. However, the undeniable truth remains. His obsession with clinging to youth ultimately stripped him of the very charisma that once made him a star. Today, Rourke is remembered not just for his powerful performance in The Wrestler, but also as a cautionary tale about the high cost of trying to defy time with a scalpel, rather than accepting it with grace and dignity. His story serves as a poignant reminder that the pursuit of eternal youth can sometimes erase the essence of what made us unique. Simon Cowell, a man whose presence could send shivers down your spine without uttering a single word, a raised eyebrow, a wry smile, or a prolonged silence were all he needed to shatter the dreams of any contestant on American Idol, The X Factor, or Got Talent. But in his relentless pursuit to preserve that signature face, he came dangerously close to losing it. The decline wasn't immediate. It was slow, subtle, and unforgiving. It all started innocently enough. A little Botox here, a touch of filler there. Cowell himself later confessed, "I used Botox like I used toothpaste." What began as simple maintenance, however, soon morphed into an obsession. This fixation with perfection quickly spiraled out of control, leading Simon down a path where the pursuit of an ageless appearance nearly cost him the very thing that made him unforgettable. By the early 2020s, the effects of Simon Cowell's cosmetic procedures were impossible to ignore. In 2023, when he appeared in a video celebrating One Direction's anniversary, fans were taken aback. His face looked stiff, his cheeks unnaturally smooth, and his skin was so taut it seemed to have lost all its natural lines and expressions. His lips barely moved when he spoke, leaving him almost unrecognizable. Social media quickly erupted with scathing comments. "Who is this?" and "He looks like a wax figure of Simon Cowell." But the most stinging criticism came from his own family. His young son, Eric, admitted he was scared when he saw his father's transformed face. That moment was a wake-up call for Cowell. The man who had spent years judging others now had to confront the consequences of his own choices. With the mirror as his only judge, he was forced to reckon with the toll of his obsession with perfection. Since that turning point, Simon Cowell has undergone a significant transformation. He stopped using fillers, abandoned Botox, and embraced a healthier lifestyle, one that included natural skincare, a balanced diet, plenty of water, and a more sustainable approach to life. Cowell even admitted, "I looked at a picture of myself and didn't recognize who it was. That wasn't me." While the damage, at least symbolically, had already been done, Simon's story goes far beyond the realm of plastic surgery. It's a deeper reflection on ego, fame, and the monsters we create when we attempt to freeze time with a needle. His journey serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of trying to hold on to youth and perfection at all costs, and how the pursuit of an idealized image can ultimately lead us to lose sight of who we truly are. Justin Jedlicka's obsession was not with the perfection nature provides, but with the kind that could only be sculpted through surgery. As a child, he was captivated by the glamorous stars he saw on television, those with enhanced beauty and lavish lives. For Justin, success wasn't about talent or perseverance, but about transforming himself into the idealized version of perfection he admired. Just 4 days after turning 18, he found himself on the operating table for his first rhinoplasty. But this was only the beginning of a journey that would take him far beyond a simple cosmetic change. By 2012, Justin Jedlicka had undergone over 190 procedures: breast, shoulder, and arm implants, cheek fillers, eyebrow lifts, liposuction, and multiple rhinoplasties. That number would eventually surge into the hundreds, with the total cost surpassing a staggering $600,000. The media quickly dubbed him the living Ken doll, and the joke spread, with some saying he was 99% plastic rather than flesh and blood. But for Justin, it was no laughing matter. While many celebrities go to great lengths to hide or deny their cosmetic enhancements, Justin has always embraced his transformation. He views plastic surgery as an art form, a living sculpture, with his body serving as the canvas. To him, each procedure is a stroke of personal expression, not a mere alteration. Justin Jedlicka once lived in Trump Tower, married a wealthy entrepreneur, and later divorced. Now, he calls Australia home, unapologetically embracing both his extensively modified body and his polyamorous lifestyle. He even appeared on the show Botched, passionately defending his decisions with the kind of conviction others typically reserve for their religious beliefs. To some, Justin is a beacon of self-expression and individuality. To others, he stands as a chilling reminder of the dangers of vanity taken to its extremes. His story forces us to confront a tough question: how far would you go to escape your true self? Justin didn't just aim to enhance his appearance, he sought to become someone entirely different, and in doing so, he became a symbol of artificiality. Does inner beauty still hold value in a world so obsessed with perfection? Comment 2 if you believe in transformation through cosmetic surgery, and comment 0 if you think natural beauty is what truly matters. Pete Burns, the charismatic lead singer of the legendary band Dead or Alive, became an icon in the 1980s, known for his androgynous style, commanding vocals, and electrifying stage presence. His hit song "You Spin Me Round Like a Record" turned him into a pop sensation. However, over time, it wasn't just his music that garnered attention, it was his face, which became almost as notorious as his chart-topping hits, but for entirely different reasons. What began as a routine nose surgery to repair an injury soon ignited a lifelong obsession with altering his appearance. This single procedure set him on a path of constant transformation that would reshape not only his looks, but his legacy. Pete Burns underwent more than 300 cosmetic procedures over the years: cheek implants, facelifts, multiple nose jobs, and an alarming amount of lip fillers, pushing his body to dangerous and often irreversible extremes. His nose, after repeated surgeries, became so narrow and fragile that it was on the brink of collapse. The cheek implants altered his once soft features, leaving him with sharp, angular contours that were a far cry from his original look. But it was his lips that nearly cost him everything. After countless filler injections, Burns suffered from severe complications, constant swelling, excruciating pain, and infections so severe that he required emergency surgery to avert permanent damage. Through it all, Pete never shied away from his surgeries. He embraced them openly, with a raw honesty that made his transformation impossible to ignore. On the contrary, Pete Burns spoke about his surgeries with pride, viewing himself as a living work of art, a constantly evolving sculpture. But as the procedures accumulated, his reflection became increasingly unrecognizable, caught between the act of creation and the brink of collapse. When Burns passed away in 2016 at the age of 57, his legacy was left in stark contrast. On one hand, he was a trailblazer for queer visibility in pop culture, an artist who boldly defied gender and beauty standards. On the other, he became one of the most extreme cautionary tales about the dangers of cosmetic surgery in entertainment history. Pete Burns' story isn't merely about physical transformation, it's about the profound cost of pushing reinvention too far, beyond the boundaries of personal identity, and losing yourself in the process. Bruce Jenner, once the epitome of masculine strength with an Olympic gold medal and a quintessential all-American hero, embarked on a highly publicized and controversial journey of self-reinvention, ultimately transitioning into Caitlyn Jenner. In the years leading up to her public coming out as transgender in 2015, Caitlyn underwent a series of cosmetic procedures, rhinoplasty, facelifts, Botox, and fillers in an effort to feminize her features. These transformations went beyond mere surface changes. They were deeply intertwined with her long-standing inner struggle to reconcile her outward appearance with her true identity. Jenner's journey, though divisive for some, serves as a powerful testament to the courage it takes to face oneself authentically in a world often quick to judge. Her story is not only about physical transformation, but also about the profound personal journey of aligning her inner and outer selves in pursuit of living truthfully. Caitlyn Jenner's transformation, unveiled on the cover of Vanity Fair in 2015, stunned the world. Her face, now with softer features, fuller lips, and smooth glowing skin, seemed to erase the image of the man who had once ruled the track in the 1970s. But beneath the polished exterior was a story of years filled with both physical and emotional pain. Caitlyn endured a series of complex surgeries while facing relentless public scrutiny. She revealed that each procedure wasn't merely about changing her looks, it was about unlocking and expressing the true self she had long suppressed. Caitlyn's journey is a powerful reminder that cosmetic surgery is not always about pursuing conventional beauty. Sometimes it's a deeply personal process of rediscovering and reclaiming one's authentic identity. Despite the widespread admiration Caitlyn Jenner has received for her courage and authenticity, her journey hasn't been universally praised. While many view her as a symbol of freedom and bravery, others have criticized her for going too far in her pursuit of fitting conventional beauty standards. From jaw contouring to breast augmentation, her cosmetic surgeries made her both a revered icon and a subject of fierce controversy. Yet through it all, Caitlyn remained unwavering in her decisions, demonstrating that a person's true value is not defined by a flawless appearance, but by the inner strength it takes to live authentically. Her story serves as a powerful lesson in self-acceptance and self-love, proving that despite the judgment and scrutiny from the outside world, embracing one's true self is the most important form of transformation. Patrick Dempsey, forever etched in the hearts of fans as McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy, is one of the few Hollywood stars whose allure has stood the test of time. However, his seemingly ageless appearance has sparked endless speculation about possible cosmetic enhancements. At 59, his smooth skin, defined jawline, and firm face have led many to wonder if he has turned to procedures to preserve the youthful charm that once made him the ultimate romantic lead. While Dempsey has never publicly acknowledged undergoing treatments like Botox, fillers, or facelifts, aesthetic experts suggest he may have used non-invasive methods to maintain his look, likely alongside a healthy lifestyle and a rigorous skincare routine. Regardless, his enduring appeal serves as a testament to the power of both genetics and careful self-care in maintaining a youthful appearance. Dempsey's journey is about much more than just maintaining his appearance. It's about striking a balance between the pressures of Hollywood and staying true to himself. Unlike many celebrities, he has taken a more subtle approach to aging, steering clear of drastic changes that could compromise the natural look of his face. In interviews, he frequently emphasizes the importance of both mental and physical health, incorporating a consistent workout routine and his passion for racing into his lifestyle as ways to navigate the challenges of aging. Dempsey's enduring appeal goes beyond his looks. It's rooted in his confidence, authenticity, and the grounded way he approaches life. These qualities continue to solidify his status as a gallant icon in the eyes of his fans, despite the inevitable whispers surrounding potential cosmetic enhancements. Patrick Dempsey's story also brings to light a harsh truth about the entertainment industry. Even the most beloved stars aren't immune to the intense pressure to maintain a flawless appearance. Whether or not he's undergone cosmetic procedures, Dempsey remains under the relentless gaze of the public and media. His journey serves as a reminder that true beauty isn't defined by a wrinkle-free face or youthful skin, but by how a person lives, contributes to their craft, and stays rooted in their values amidst the industry's unforgiving demands. In a world obsessed with perfection, Dempsey's ability to remain grounded in authenticity and dedication is what truly sets him apart as a lasting icon.